planes going out. We've got Lufthansa Cargo 777 to Frankfurt, and we've got a Korean Air Cargo 777 off to Guadalajara. So we're going to start early. Thanks for being with us on Runway DFW. Let's get started, shall we?
Out of the blue of the western sky comes
Runway DFW.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
Good morning, everyone, wherever you may be on this big blue marble. It's Walt, your man with a camera, your plane pal, your fly guy, your aviation amigo, your septuagenarian streamer. Here to start off this Wednesday morning. I'll put the date on in a minute, but with this nice Lufthansa Cargo 777 headed back to Frankfurt. Zoom out a bit. I'll finish up the music here. And it is, well, I can't put the date on because I'm busy, but it's Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. A belated happy Valentine's Day to all of our loyal viewers. And we are here with you on a somewhat overcast morning, but otherwise not too terribly unpleasant. 51 degrees is what our thermometer is saying here in the Fahrenheit region. And I am going to surmise by the trajectory of this aircraft that it's headed over to the east side of Runway DFW for takeoff. Not what we had hoped, but Of course, last time I was here in the morning, I started at 5 a.m. and it was kind of deadly dull that morning. That was last week. This morning, of course, I didn't start at 5 o'clock, and in the 5 o'clock hour, we saw a UPS 747 come in, a UPS MD-11 come in. But the nice thing is I think we'll be seeing both of those going out before we depart here at around 9 a.m. Oh, now look at that. Now, you see that that X that is lit up there? X. That means that runway is closed. That would be runway 18 left, I do believe. So we may have some limited action over here this morning. Wow, whatever. There you see on camera 3 the 747 on the right, UPS. We're looking south now from our position here at DFW Founders Plaza. On the right is the big 747 now being unloaded. On the left there is an MD-11, which is, Can't see. That's not the one that came in. I think that was here when we got here, so. And then looking towards the south, I give you the Korean Air cargo plane, which is headed to Guadalajara. This is another 777. Now, with any luck, we'll see this go out over on this side, but who's to say? I'd like to welcome everyone this morning. Josh Aldrich. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Walt. Good morning, Josh. Mr. Tank 2010. Good morning, Walt. The American Airbus A319 flight to Dallas flies over my house every morning, and I tried to get a good picture, but ended up getting a picture of the grass. Well, you just
morning,
gotta keep,
yeah,
just gotta keep
Yankee,
trying.
launch, clear for takeoff, Korean 277.
Bluestream, Illinois Prairie. Good morning from 40-mile-an-hour windy Illinois, Walt, and Runway DFW fans. And yeah, we had our share of winds yesterday. It would have kind of been fun to be out here to see the planes landing, but I was not able to get out here yesterday. Today, the wind is almost calm, but we're kind of in the middle of another bout of rainy weather here, so I wanted to get out here this morning to bring you what we could before our next opportunity to broadcast. Well, it looks like this plane is going to go out. It's going to make a turn, go out kind of on from the short T here on runway 18 right.
Departure, Korean 277, good day.
There it goes. I would like to express my thanks to Marco Hinton for a $5 super chat. Between the 787 Dreamliners and the A350s, which one is your favorite? I guess because we don't see as many of the A350s here, I enjoy seeing them more. But they're both fine aircraft, of course. DFW Spotters 2 says, hey, Walt, have you ever had a chance to tour the fire stations or the DFW police? No, I have not. I've expressed my openness to the public relations folks here at DFW. I said, hey, let me know if I'd be happy to do a feature or kind of make do some feature material about the airport and let people know more about it. They seem to be cool to that idea. There's another thing I would love to be able to do at some point is to go to the fire training facility out here on the southwest side of the airport. Occasionally, those regular viewers will often see that thick black smoke coming up from that area where they do the training, and it looks quite scary, frankly, to see that happening. But they apparently have quite a facility over there, and maybe someday we'll get over there to take a look at that. I don't think we'll be able to do it live, but who knows? We're waiting for the Frankfurt flight. I'm going to see if we can pick that out of the sky. It's it's departing over on the east side of DFW Airport. We, on the other hand, are on the west side.
Tower, report 111. Runway 18 left is open.
And I think we just heard that runway 18 left is now open, so that's good for us. It looks like the Frankfurt-bound 777 Lufthansa cargo plane is now just about ready to roll down the runway. So let us switch over to camera 5. Our sweet nighttime camera. I can hear it taking off over there. The sound is carrying real well this morning. But where is it? Should be lifting off from beyond those buildings. There it is. It's kind of far away, but Auf Wiedersehen, Lufthansa Cargo. We were talking on Sunday about how Lufthansa is ending its A340 service to DFW, I think next month, replacing it with Dreamliners. And that's going to be a sad time here for plane spotters, because the A340 is one of those unique aircraft that I don't get tired of seeing that. Luke Mold says, "Hey Walt, you need to come to New Zealand and do a show from Auckland International Airport." Well, I hope they've dried out there. I think Auckland got hit by a really bad typhoon, and I saw some incredible pictures from the terminal. It looked like a swimming pool in parts of the terminal there in Auckland. So I hope everything's dried out by now. And I would love to. That's one of my. I don't use the term bucket list very often, but certainly I would love to go to New Zealand and explore that area. So fingers crossed, I'll get there someday. And I know you have a Wellington-based streamer. Wellington Flights Live, I believe, and he's checked in on our broadcast before, so check him out for some Wellington action. Dave Kimball reporting from central New Mexico, where there's crappy winter weather. Hope it avoids hitting you later. Yeah, we've had it all this winter here. It's a beautiful, mid-February morning right now. 51 degrees, almost no wind. It's almost dead calm, which is just nice if you're standing outside. Our friend Epic Toastman says, with a $1.99 super chat, and he says, "Good morning, Walt, and good morning to Epic Toastman. I hope you'll check out his channel here on YouTube. He is He's at the opposite end of the alley, but he is constant. He's got questions for me all the time about, how to do things, and I'm always happy to reach out and give whatever advice I can to anybody who's interested in this as a hobby. And, the more streamers here at DFW, the more, the wider known we become as a group, and the more options you have as viewers to see things from this part of the world. So thank you, Epic Toast Man. Douglas Serrano says, good morning, Walton, everyone. Better than 5 a.m., right? Well, yeah, it is, except that we missed a couple of planes I would have liked to have seen coming in. But what are you going to do? Actually, I do have... Do I have this? Let's see if we can switch over to this. Well, that doesn't seem to be working. I was going to play back something for you, but apparently I can't see the playback on my... Is this it? Well, there's the UPS 747 that was coming in earlier this morning, but as you can see, the screen is cluttered. Oh, there we go. So that is not live. That is totally not live. But that is the 747 that came in as we were waiting to go on the air. Mike G says, good morning, Walt, and everyone else. Hello to you, Mike. Marco Hinton says, I remember when Lufthansa used to mix the 747-400s and the A340 services at Houston Intercontinental before 2012. Ah, the good old days. I'm going back to make sure I haven't missed any message. I know I've missed some messages, and I'm sorry if I have. Dwayne C. says, good morning, Walt, and everyone else. I think I didn't get to him. And Marco is saying good morning to everyone in Dallas. And let's see here. And our great moderator, Ms. Wolf 13. Good morning, everyone. So, glad to see you all here. It warms the cockles of my heart to see all of you there. I think of all the, and again, we're looking at recorded images from about, 30 minutes ago of the 747 arrival here, the UPS 747. Came in from Louisville, and it'll be going out to Louisville. It's scheduled to go out before 9 o'clock, so we should see it on the flip side here not too long from now. So we'll go back to the live picture there from camera 3. And I realized that I hadn't put on our clock. So there's our clock. So we're live now. I was trying to bring you a shot of the moon in the sky over us to give you an indication of what things are looking like up in the heavens. It's pretty. Let me see if I can adjust this. Got kind of a crescent moon going, but it's behind. There, that's a little better. I see the clouds are going in front of it. Looks kind of eerie. Tariq D74 says, hello there, everyone. How are you all doing today? And good evening to you from my home country of Pakistan. Glad to have you here, Tariq. He's a frequent visitor. Dan Vanenhoven. No, Vanevenhoven? I don't know. Sorry, Dan. Dan, good morning from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Bagosh. Epic Toast Man says, asks, if you plan to stream out of state sometime, where will you stream? Well, I don't know. The nearest airport I have a great interest in going back to, because we did a couple of streams last year in Austin. And I had a lot of fun there. There's a lot to see. Planes we don't get to see here at DFW. So I look forward to that. Of course, that's not out of state. That's here in the state of Texas. Houston might, of course, be an option at some point, also in Texas. So I'm trying to think, the nearest other state to us, or in proximity to us, would be Oklahoma, where, of course, there's Tulsa and Oklahoma City. But I don't know enough about those airports I haven't really researched to see if it would be worthy of a live stream or not, because, one of the things we count on here is constant activity. And we give a tip of the Runway DFW cap to our friends over at UPS. We know they are watching us. In fact, on one of our last broadcasts, we had someone come over who was taking a break from their cargo activities over there and said, "Yeah, we watch you all the time." And we've had people stop by in our chat here and say, "I'm the cargo supervisor, and we're watching you." So when we don't have plane activity, it's always fun to see what happens to your packages as they come and go. And we're just a few hundred feet away from, as you can tell, from the UPS cargo hub here. We should give a shout out to our friends Kevin and Rudy, who will be coming here at the end of March to bring Airline Videos Live back to Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. They'll be here the last week of March, streaming for at least 2 days. And I know that there's a lot of AVL fans in this vicinity who want to come out and say hello to Kevin and Rudy, so we'll keep you posted on that. Well, actually, of course, the best source for that information is the Airline Videos Live channel, Airline Videos here on YouTube. Another question from our friend Epic Toastman. Have you ever tried to stream at DFW but not at Founders? I've scouted out several locations, which, none of them have really been suitable for what we try to do here. We've got here at Founders Plaza, which is a little park provided by the airport, and we thank them for that. We get a very nice panoramic view of the whole west side of the airport. But other locations, not so much. You can kind of park your car and see planes coming and going, but not landing. And, that would be a crucial thing for us. I had wanted to broadcast from the top of from the big hotel adjacent to Terminal D, but and the hotel was fine with that, but because the hotel is technically on airport property, they said I needed to get a green light from DFW Airport, and DFW Airport said no, you can't do that. So much for that. So I'd love to find a place over on the east side to kind of get a similar perspective to what we give you here, but there just isn't one that I'm aware of. Again, you can go over there and take pictures of planes landing or going over you, but there's not a public place where you can plop down your tripod and set up your table and gear and all that stuff and start broadcasting. So, I'm still researching that. But thank you for the question. .623 here at in the Central Time Zone. And this is what they call in the TV business as tap dancing, because there's almost no activity right now. We've got a couple of planes headed over the bridge to the east side, and that's a pretty dark picture. We're still, I forgot to look up what the sunrise time was here today. But I should do that, shouldn't I? Yes. Wisconsin Dave says, sounds like Founders was made for you / us. Yes, we're very grateful, me and other plane spotters, that we have this facility available to bring you this action. And, I've heard from a lot of people who say there isn't any kind of an analog to this at many other airports. There's just no place to conveniently plane spot from. Of course, we're all familiar with LAX now, and there's several places where your favorite plane spotters can be seen broadcasting. And part of the, I'm sure you're all familiar, well, those of you who watch Airline Videos Live are familiar with what Kevin is up to with his AVL on the go, which is a way he has come up with to be able to hop on a plane with minimal gear and broadcast from other airports. He's really excited about doing that, and I think all the people who watch AVL are as well. But when you do something what I do here, I've got 3 cameras here, and there's a lot to set up, and there's a lot to lug around. So, traveling by car from here to Austin, which is a couple hours down the road, not a problem. But if I were to try to broadcast from another place in the U.S., I am certain that I would not be able to bring all this with me, and so. Well, look at that. Epic Toast Man has another $1.99 super chat. Thank you, ETM. He asks, what was the coolest experience with streaming? I think it was watching. I had probably the camera focused in on UPS just as I am now, and somebody in the chat room said, "Hey, look to the south of you. There's a very interesting plane coming," and it was one of these Antonov cargo planes. We've had 2 of them here. One a jet and one a propeller-driven one. I can't remember. The AN-124, I think, was the first one. And that was, I was totally not ready for that to happen. It was so, it was such a moment of excitement to see that plane that I had not ever seen before, and I had no inclination that it was about to make an appearance. And so you'll find that on our Runway DFW page here at YouTube. I've clipped that out separately, but I think you can tell in my voice how just overwhelmed I was at seeing that aircraft. So thank you for that question and for the super chat, Epic Toast Man. David Lord says, "Is this why my packages are late?" Now, come on, David. Look at them working there. They're going to be. They'll have unloaded this plane and loaded it back up to go back to Louisville to the UPS World Port. Within a couple of hours, and I'm constantly amazed to see what these guys and gals can do logistically. Steve Lundaby says the guys on the back of the 747 were waving at you. I did not see that. Well, I'll wave back at them. We like those guys. Maybe they'll invite us over sometime. That would be fun. I saw that Jerry at Big Jet TV, I think it was yesterday, got invited to be plane side as an A380 was coming in from Dubai, I think it was. So it was right there as the plane pulled in and got hooked up, and pretty amazing footage. Great access there at London Heathrow Airport. Carl Shield 1, good afternoon, everyone. I think Carl is over in Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. So we're happy. I kind of think of this as being a European-centric broadcast because it's a little early for a lot of our continental viewers. But of course, we welcome all here at Runway DFW. East Texas Aviation says, good morning, Walt and mods. We have Compulsiva Shoes is the newest subscriber to Runway DFW. Speaking of subscribers, we did surpass 9,000 on Sunday when we were broadcasting, and so now we're marching towards 10,000 subscribers. So if you've given it a thought, come on in and join us here at Runway DFW. It's free, and it helps us grow. And after subscribing, after 10 minutes, you get to be part of our online chat community. So that's another benefit, I think. David Lord says, I have a photo of the Antonov lining up for takeoff from the plaza. Yeah, that's a very interesting aircraft, that Antonov AN-124. Of course, it's big brother, and I may be mistaken here. I think it was the 225, the AN-225, the one that these Antonov planes were built in Ukraine during the when it was part of the USSR, and the super gigantic jumbo AN-2, I can't remember what the designation was, but that got blown up by the Russians as part of their assault on Ukraine. And I think the Ukrainians have pledged to rebuild it or to put it back together. I don't know. I guess they've got other things to worry about right now. Barbara M. talking about Big Jet TV, he says, yeah, the pilots are great and all the personnel, Jerry has the gift of gab. He certainly does. Now, there's no way to compete with him in that category. We'll look back towards the east and we can see not quite sunrise, but the sky is beginning to have a glow to it. Should have a nice sunrise today. Looks like the cloud cover will benefit us in that way. So something else to look forward to here on the big broadcast. And I was going to tell you when we would expect to see that sunrise. And the answer is 7. Oh no, that's Friday. So tomorrow, today. Um, 7-11, and it's 6:33 now, so we're still a little more than a half hour away from sunrise at DFW. Another super chat from Marco Hinton. Thank you, Marco. I'm somewhat jealous that Abia gets services from both British Airways and Virgin Atlantic. And he's talking about Austin Bergstrom International Airport. I had to think for a second about that abbreviation. But yeah, I'm jealous that we don't get to see. They get to see KLM there, I believe, down at Austin. They get to see Virgin Atlantic, and whereas alas, we do not. But there's always hope. Yes. So there's the Big Bird with the West Tower in the background. Is our camera floating up there? I think it is. I think it's stabilized. All right, well, Goosey is providing some more information. They're in Ukraine. They have a half-built Antonov 225. Antonov seeking investment to complete it and get it flying. So thank you for that additional information. I thought it was the 225, but I couldn't remember for sure. Carl Shiel 1 says DFW will get a connection to Dublin soon, and we are looking forward to that. David says, well, good morning, everyone. With a bunch of icons that are so tiny I can't quite make them all out, but thank you for joining us, David. You know, when I looked at the schedule for this morning, I thought, 6 o'clock, that sounds like a good time. There's lots of flights coming in the 6 o'clock hour. We will apparently be seeing American Airlines Flight 2551 coming in from Houston Intercontinental. It'll be a 737-800. I can't tell yet whether it's going to be coming in on the west side or the east side. It's kind of lining up now. I suspect it'll come in on the east side. Douglas Serrano is suggesting that Air France should launch nonstop service to Austin and to Orlando. Well, we'll send that on to the Air France overlords there in Paris. Bryab 5K Boss says, I'm flying to Las Vegas this morning from Minneapolis on a Delta 757. And as we talk about quite frequently here on Runway DFW, we don't see any passenger 757s here unless it's a charter or some diversion. We just don't have any regularly scheduled ones. I think Delta and United are the only carriers of the big ones in the U.S. that still fly those planes. And so it's always a treat to see them. We do see a lot of 757 United Parcel or UPS planes. They look so graceful. I like those. I don't know why. What happened? I mean, I actually like the looks of those as opposed to the 737 style of aircraft. Maybe because they're up off the ground more. I don't know, the 757s are. And apparently the reason the 757 is up off the ground the way it is so that it would be, it was designed so that either it or the 767 could park at a jetway and they'd be at the same height, is what I understand. Well, we'll give it a try here. We're going to take a look at the eastern sky. We'll watch this American Airlines plane coming in from Houston, way over there on the east side. And I'm sorry, but that is as close as I can get to it. Pretty sky though. Rich in Cali with a $9.99 super chat. And he says, you have a great voice for this setting. Love the narration and the shots. I just retired and my hobby is flight simulator and watching these streams. Thank you. Well, Rich in Cali, I'm kind of in the same age range as you. I should be retired, but I'm not yet. I do have another job, which I do have a real job, I should say, which I will be attending to as soon as I finish up here at around 9 o'clock. I've got to pack up and find the nearest Starbucks and start working, because I'm lucky enough to be able to work remotely still, so that's nice. Here goes an Airbus A321 American Airlines crossing the runways 18 left and right to go back to the American Airlines hangar area for whatever comes next. And there is our automated thank you to Rich and Callie. I put those in because sometimes I get distracted and I don't see something that somebody has sent to us, and I want to make sure everybody gets acknowledged who has favored us with a contribution. And just to let you know that your contributions are used, plowed back into the channel. We do, this camera you're looking at here, our camera 5, was purchased in order to bring you shots like this at nighttime and in twilight when our other cameras aren't quite up to snuff. And so we're always looking to improve our services to you here on the channel. And Rich and Kelly says the dedication here is welcome. Thank you. Duchess says, Runway DFW, aloha from Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm your newest subscriber. Thank you, Duchess. I'm trying to remember if we've had any other Hawaiian subscribers check in with us. So you are more than welcome. We generally see a flight from Maui come in, a flight from Hawaii, or a flight from Honolulu and from Maui come in the morning time hours. So what we do have coming in next, we finally got a plane coming in, and it's going to be on this side of the airport. It's going to be American Eagle Flight 3490, an Embraer 175 coming at us from Houston Hobby Airport. Epic Toastman has deep pockets today with a $1.99 super chat. What piece of equipment are you saving for now? That is a good question, because Mrs. Runway DFW has favored me with a very nice audio board, which is probably why my voice sounds better now, because it does have some processing built into it, which kind of adds into the mix. We've got so I'm trying to think. I might be thinking of another camera to replace this one. This is our lowest end camera right now. It works pretty well during the daytime, but at twilight hours you can see it's pretty fuzzy. So that might be something, but I don't have any real immediate needs at the moment. I think we're pretty well set as far as equipment goes. But thank you for the question. Let's see, Stephanie Hutchison says, good morning, friends. Good morning to you. Duchess says, my dad was a pilot in World War II, and he was a captain. Later on, he was a captain of United Airlines. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, my dad was in World War II. He was not a pilot. He was a radio man, and he also operated a gun on a B-24 Liberator. And the name of his plane was the Turd Bird. And I've seen a picture of all these World War II planes would have art on the front of the plane, and of course, the art involved was a cartoon bird dropping bombs on enemy territory. So my dad got a Purple Heart for having survived some flak during one of the bombing runs. And very proud of his service and all the others who made sure that World War II had the ending that we all wanted. Here's the wide look here at DFW Airport. You can see the clouds in the sky. We're looking kind of towards the southeast right now. And we come over here and we get to Terminal D. The big international terminal here. Now we're looking towards the east at downtown Dallas in the background with the East Tower of DFW in the middle of your shot. Now arriving from Baton Rouge, Louisiana is American Eagle Flight 3622. It's an Embraer 175. Next up for your consideration on a Wednesday edition of Runway DFW. East Texas Aviation says the newer and brighter Terminal D is such an interesting contrast with the older terminals. Well, the Terminal D is the design of Terminal D is radically different from the other terminals. The airport was initially conceived with each terminal being kind of a half circle with the planes arrayed around it. And Terminal D is an entirely different animal. Entirely, it's more rectangular in shape. And so it's a much more open feeling of terminal, kind of in line with what you'd see at many other airports. It's kind of a claustrophobic feeling to the other terminals. You know, they have low ceilings and, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just that they're kind of a different animal. Well, our next arrival coming in here to runway 18 right at DFW Airport. And good morning to you if you just joined us. You're watching live coverage from DFW Airport on Wednesday, February 13th, 2023. My name is Walt, your man with a camera. We're just hanging out, bringing you planes. Duchess says, Runway DFW, I've flown a few times. I have no training, but I've flown a plane. The pilot said, I know what I'm doing, so if I had to take over flying a Boeing, I know I could land the plane. Well, I guess I hope you're on my next flight so that I'll have that feeling of security. But that is good to know that you've got, you know, to know you've got that knowledge. That's pretty cool. The sky is brightening. We're about, 15 minutes away or so from official sunrise. Well, there's Alaska Airlines. Flight 365 is going to Seattle, 737-900. Kind of snuck in on us there, didn't it?
Ready.
Oh, it's got a special livery too.
Let's take off our man Piedmont for last year.
Let's see if we can catch this here. It's the 100 years strong livery, which I have previously not seen. Plane certainly used up most of the runway, didn't it?
Departure Alaska 365.
That was American Flight 1098 arriving from Kansas City, Missouri. Austin Swafford says, hey Walt, I went to the Grand Hyatt last week and I saw the Korean Air cargo from the rooftop. Yeah, I wish I could bring you a program from there, but as we discussed earlier, that idea was nixed by the higher-ups here at DFW Airport. Douglas Mack says, good morning, everyone. Runway DFW. I'm not sure if it's the same B-24 your dad served on, but I Googled B-24 Liberator Turd Bird and found a picture. Yeah, I think it's out there somewhere. And That's a very clever name for a military aircraft. Certainly reflects the kind of dark sense of humor that would be present in any kind of a war situation. We've got a parade of regional planes coming in now. First one of which is this plane from San Angelo, Texas. It's a CRJ 701ER. Ending a 38-minute flight from San Angelo. And another CRJ is next on the docket from Lawton, Oklahoma. And that's an even shorter flight, just 29 minutes. Feeding passengers in from Oklahoma to the big airport here. We'll see it in a second. Armand V says, or 5, I don't know. Hello, Walt Mods and viewers from a sunny Cape Town, South Africa. Welcome, Armand. Michael Freer says, good morning. Good morning to you. Duchess says, I'm so glad this is real and not some stupid simulation live stream. Well, this is definitely real. Here's MR Rice with all the details on the turd bird. Manufactured by Ford. So our viewers are just chock full of useful information today about the heritage of the plane that my dad was on in World War II. And Rich and Callie says, LOL, I found the pic. They spelled it bird, B-U-R-D, yes. It's amazing when you look at the records of all of the aircraft that were manufactured during World War II and how few of them have survived. And of course, even fewer of them now are, you know, of the ones that are left are flyable. Let's turn our attention over to the UPS cargo area. There is a one of the two, are there two? There may be more back there hidden away, but there's at least two that we can see of the MD-11s. This one's being loaded up. This is the one that came in, or maybe it's still being emptied. This is the one that came in while we were setting up this morning. Let's see if we can... turn our attention over here. There's the big Queen of the Skies. Looks like its APU is fired up there. That's blown out so much. That's a little better. All right, we've got another CRJ coming in here. It's from Laredo, Texas. It's American Eagle Flight 4970. It has been in the air for almost an hour, 57 minutes. So I think we're just about 9 minutes away now from, or 8 minutes away now from sunrise. Talking about the B-24 again, and here comes a UPS cargo plane, which landed over on the east side. It came in from Phoenix. No, I'm sorry, it came in from Houston Intercontinental 767. Here comes American Airlines Flight 687, which took off from Lubbock in Texas about 46 minutes ago. It's an Airbus A319.
Left 18 left, hold short 18 right on Zulu UPS 9775 heavy.
Duchess says, I don't know the name of my father's World War II plane, but I'm sure it had to be Black Velvet, his favorite whiskey. And shoot, when I was born, that is what he wanted my name. Mom said, no way. And I was lucky enough, I think it's the used to be known as the Confederate Air Force. They changed their name. I'm trying to remember what it is now, but at any rate, they have a flying B-24. And They flew it into one of the airports here in this area, and I actually got to go inside a B-24 and, you know, see where my dad had operated from. And as I recall, those planes were not pressurized. They flew at pretty high altitudes, but there was no pressurization. You know, they had open windows where you had your machine guns.
That's the way I went left this stick out over there, 998.
And I imagine it must have gotten pretty cold up there. But anyway, it was fascinating to see, just to be inside of one of those aircraft.
20 left, line of point, mark 431.
Here comes American Flight 827. This is from San Antonio. Here in the great state of Texas.
South 18 right, Zulu, Challenger Ranch, yes, 9775 heading.
I think it's almost time for me to switch out cameras. This is we're looking at camera 5, which is our nighttime camera. And I've got to switch it out for our primary daytime camera here in a second. What you're looking at there is American Flight 431. It's an Airbus A321 on its way to Phoenix, Arizona. The home of the Super Bowl. And right behind it is United Airlines Flight 2371. An A319 headed to San Francisco.
American 431. Heading clear to go, 662.
That, of course, is the UPS 767 we saw taxiing earlier, coming after it landed over on the east side from Houston.
That's a 2370.
We see this quite regularly. This is one of the DFW Fire Department trucks. I think there's maybe some kind of maintenance involved in squirting water out from its tanks. But this might be the one we saw the other day. It's definitely got a pollution issue, I would say. There's some nasty smoke coming out of that thing.
0662.
Well, the cargo bay door of that MD-11 is wide open. Don't see anything coming in or out, though.
Five nine seven 662.
Try not to breathe it in. LOL says Happy Gamer Kid. Yeah, I can smell that that smoke that was coming out of there. It's kind of wafted over here. Yuck. Doesn't quite have the sweet aroma of jet fuel. Here's another Embraer 175. This is coming in from Harlingen in South Texas. Still haven't had our first heavy of the morning come in. But it'll happen. I think I'm going to switch out cameras now. So we're going to go over to camera 3 there. And it's going to take me a minute or two to get one camera disengaged and the other engaged. So stand by.
Aviation.
And you're watching live continuous coverage of me trying to switch out one camera for the other here on Runway DFW. That satisfying click was the sound of one camera clicking into its tripod mount. And now the other. Just got a couple of cables to plug in. Interesting. So there's one camera plugged in. This other one, though, what's going on here? Well, that's interesting. We're back in business. That was American Flight 604 coming in from McAllen, Texas. That took an hour and 6 minutes of flying time.
Coming on the west side. Cruise on 20. Here's Diverted.
Polar Air Cargo has arrived. Came in over on the east side. It comes in from Cincinnati on a daily basis. It's a 767. Okay, I think we're all straightened out now camera-wise. Gotta think of a better way to do that. TriStar Darren says, someone's playing golf nearby, keep hearing a ball go into the cup. I think what that sound is the sound every time there's a message or a new addition to the chat. It makes that kind of an alert sound, and I have to figure out if there's a way I can disable that without disabling some other sounds that I need to hear.
18 left, Zulu, hold short, 18 right, 45 left.
That was American Eagle 4953, Mitsubishi 701 ER, coming on in from Garden City, Kansas. One of the things that's going on right now, right behind me, there's some workers who are installing some new bricks. They have these kind of memorial bricks here as part of the Founders Plaza. And they can be inscribed with names and, tributes to people. So that's what's going on there. Meanwhile, coming out of the sky in just a minute, going to be American Flight 115 from Honolulu. So to our new viewer from Honolulu, here we go.
South 20 right, charter the ramp for Polar 5 Liberty.
That's 777-200ER. Completing a 6-hour and 38-minute flight from the beautiful islands.
Kilo, from 20 right, 20 left, contact point 65, that's 20 yes.
If you hear the birds,
Whiskey Lima, ground point 85, Airplane 150.
they're hanging out right over here. They're paying no heed to that no trespassing sign and ignoring the dangers of the razor wire. As they hunt for breakfast. If you've just joined us, we are broadcasting live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. My name is Walt, the man with the camera, with camera 1 now pointing at the morning sky here over North Texas. 51 degrees Fahrenheit is our temperature. The wind is almost dead calm. And here comes American Eagle Flight 5750 from El Paso, Texas, CRJ 900. One of the smaller planes we see regularly here is the Cessna 208B Super Cargo Master. This is a Martinair flight, which operates out from behind the UPS terminal here, delivering cargo. It doesn't say where this one's going. They typically travel to smaller airports in the region. Ameriflight is another small cargo operator here, and I saw an interesting post the other day, or a news item, that they have decided, sorry about that, I'm trying to straighten out my camera here. Ameriflight is investing in self-flying planes, which I guess will provide automated cargo service. I don't know what the time frame is on that. I keep reading about all this this artificial intelligence as we greet American Eagle Flight 3361, Embraer 175 from Manhattan, Kansas. So all this artificial intelligence that, you know, I was looking at a YouTube video the other day of someone explaining how you can make YouTube content entirely machine generated. First you get a chat bot you give it some ideas, and you say, okay, write me a script for the 3 best breeds of dog for a family. And so it writes that script, and then you send it to another place on the internet where it can then generate a voice which can read that script pretty competently. And then you go to another place which can take the script and illustrate it with stock footage. And the end result was, was fairly watchable. So that got me to thinking, uh-oh, is my job in jeopardy? What if some clever person could just take for instance, Flight Radar 24, all the data there. And I'm just about to miss something here.
185 line, we'll wait for my Texas 666.
That's the morning Korean Air flight from Seoul. We saw the cargo flight go out earlier. I think that was going to Mexico, as I recall. But this is a 787-9 Dreamliner.
Crossline 111, Whiskey Lima, contact point 8031.
And those passengers have been flying up there for 11 hours and 46 minutes across the Pacific. And we welcome them. David Lord says, airliners can mostly fly themselves now. I still want a human overseeing things. I think most people would agree with that. I think most people are not yet comfortable with that concept. M.R. Rice, I never fly in Big Tin Bird without humans at the controls. Uncle Car Guy says, is that the UPS 747-400 or -8? That's a good question. Let me see if I can answer that for you.
Flash 162 good day.
November 577 UP is the call sign. And so that's going to be a 747-400F, 14-year-old bird. Which has always been a UPS aircraft. And Cindy Clements wants us to know, I will always drive my own car. Good for you, Cindy. Now, on the other hand, there is something to be said. I've always kind of thought, there's something to be said for if, all cars had some sort of a guidance system involved that could talk to one another, that, my car says to your car, hey, here's where I am. And then we won't bump into each other. That might not be such a bad thing. But I have a feeling that's not going to happen in my lifetime. That's American Flight 3308 arriving from Wichita, Kansas. That's American Eagle Flight 3308, I should say. An hour and 9-minute flight. as that sun comes up. It's just after 7:30 here in the morning in the Central Time Zone. Welcome to Runway DFW for this Wednesday, the 15th of February. The day after Valentine's Day.
Go 18 right at taxiway Yankee 240, the heading March 6.
David Sheffield says, morning everyone, and Walt, on my second cup of coffee, thanks for the wake up. Yeah, I'll be getting my first cup of coffee after I finish up with this enterprise here in about 90 minutes. Don't want to drink too much when you're standing out here in a place where there's no facilities, you might say. Happy Gamers Kid says, beautiful cityscape. Yeah, there's the hazy Dallas skyline in the background there. David Lord says, no porta potty at the plaza. No. I have a feeling that may be intentional, though, you know, to keep people from kind of hanging out here for too long. And here, right behind me, are the people from the DFW Energy, Transportation, and Asset Management Department installing these bricks. I don't know if we can get they'll be, what's written on them will be upside down, but there you can kind of see what is on there. Mostly tributes to people who have had a connection to DFW Airport. We're just like planes. But there's a little bit of work involved in making sure they all get in the right place. And those bricks line the plaza here for a nominal fee. Can't remember what it is. Actually, in the description of our broadcast, I think I have a link to that program. And David, let me see. Well, there is a link to Founders Plaza in my description, but I'm not sure if that will take you to the link to the brick buying. The sign, see if we can see it from here. There's a sign over there just beyond that truck which has all the information, but I don't think we can read enough of it for it to be helpful to us. Anyway, maybe if that truck moves out, I'll grab a shot of that sign later on.
Roger, thank you.
But they are busy back there. Well, we're going to turn our attention back to the aircraft now. It's going to be American Airlines Flight 1090, arriving from Tulsa, Oklahoma. 46-minute flight, 737-800. About ready to touch down on final approach here at Runway DFW. So we will tilt up from this activity.
Inside American 1090.
You never know what you're going to see on Runway DFW.
2665, what's up?
From bricklaying to... Well, we know we're going to see airplanes landing. We say hello to Mary Extraordinaire, who says it's going to be 60 degrees in New York, according to the Weather Channel today. That seems a little bit unseasonably warm, would it not, Mary? I hope you get out and enjoy it. Boy, it's slow this morning. It'll pep up in the 9 o'clock hour. I mean, sorry, the 8 o'clock hour. Gets very busy then. But at the moment, there's not a lot going on. Maybe we'll zero in for a bit here on this MD-11 being loaded up. A big salute to all our pals over there at UPS. And greetings to Going Slightly Mad. Good morning, afternoon. I'm David Lord with the answer to the question. Bricks are $125 each per the Founders website. So if you want to get your memorialized brick, that's where to go. I think there's the information that would, I think you send them an email, as I recall, with your interest in having a brick. And there's a lot of empty spaces left here. Soviet Union says, hello guys, hello there. And it's as good a time as any to tip our hat to the Runway DFW Moderation Federation, the names of which you see before you. We welcome them whenever they can take time away from their busy schedules to pop in and give us a hand in welcoming you to the broadcast. I'm seeing a plane coming in. I don't understand. It's designated as a PIP-7, PIP-7. There's no other indication as to what it is. So I'm going to have to see if this is just an anomaly. It may just be some kind of a Flight Radar 24 anomaly. There you see in the foreground DFW Founders Plaza. Not terribly busy this morning. I see two other cars here besides mine and besides the truck that just installed some more bricks. They're getting ready to pull out.
Immediate takeoff, RNAV to V Park, American 2807. Defender 12 heavy, number 18 left,
There is an American Airlines plane getting ready to take off for San Francisco. It's about to pull into your shot there. It's flight 2807. Headed off to the city by the bay in Airbus A321neo. We've got another heavy on the way. This is Japan Airlines
Good morning.
Flight 12 coming in from Haneda Airport in Tokyo. It's a 787-9 Dreamliner. It is completing a flight of almost 11 hours. And it will be entering our viewing area in just a second or two. Looks like we got the One World livery variety. It's going to be kind of hard to see in the, because it's so backlit at this time of day, but we'll do the best we can. If I'm not mistaken, I think that landed over on, runway 18 left, the nominal takeoff runway. And we say greetings to Marjolaine, who is our newest subscriber, here at Runway DFW as we claw our way towards 10,000 subscribers.
12185.
Hey, how about another Dreamliner, another 787-9 Dreamliner? Well, this one is going to be American Airlines Flight 34 coming in from Auckland, New Zealand. Luke Molds. That flight clocks in at just under 13 hours. 12 hours and 57 minutes as of right now, but of course there's a little taxiing involved back to Terminal D, so a 13-hour flight. A-list flyer Chris says, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. A-list flyer Chris, one of our great mods.
Traffic off our right inside reading visual.
Going slightly mad with a $10.11 super chat. Good morning, Walt, and all Trijet fans. Thank you so much. Going slightly mad. Karen Monson says, is JAL a daily flight here? Japan Airlines has a daily flight here. I'm not sure if the Haneda flight is daily. They have another flight from the other Tokyo airport, Narita, which I believe is, I'm pretty sure that one is daily. I'm not sure about the Narita one. I'd have to look it up. I sure wish they still had printed timetables. I'd have one stuck in my back pocket, especially an American Airlines one for here. I just loved printed timetables.
Alpha route to the service area, then reverse course back to the Echo route southbound, pipeline 7.
Next to come into our field of view is American Flight 328 from Chicago O'Hare Airport, 737-800. And all these planes seem to be landing on 18 left, which again, we have two parallel north-south runways here on the west side of the airport. 18 left is typically where the planes take off, and 18 right is typically where they... No, 18 right is where they typically land. But for some reason, all operations are on 18 left for the moment. I haven't seen any activity on the runway that indicates that it's closed down or being inspected or anything, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Hey there, Michelle R.S., another one of the great members of the Runway DFW Moderation Federation and a friend of the channel. Morning to you. There's some MD-11 cargo action for you there. They're loading that thing up. And we are in a bit of a lull as far as runway activity goes at the moment. So we get to peek in on the UPS crew getting this plane ready for its next departure. Emery Urchis, who got to meet the other day, says there's a beautiful sunrise this morning. We've had more colorful sunrises, I would have to say. I was kind of expecting it to be more spectacular this morning, but, you know, not complaining. It's kind of warming things up a bit. It's up to 58 degrees Fahrenheit. I was trying to follow a bird, but kind of lost track. It's a bit of a hazy morning. There's absolutely, well, I was going to say there's absolutely nothing in the sky that's coming in, but there is a Frontier flight coming in from Atlanta over on the east side. It's still a couple minutes out. On an A320N with the Jack the Rabbit livery, which I don't, even if we zero in it, I don't think you'll be able to see it from where we are. I do keep seeing this crazy, I think some others have mentioned it in the chat room, this PIP-7. If you're looking at flight radar, there's some aircraft with a PIP-7 designation flying around at 1,300 feet. And it's got, if you look at the tracking of it, it's just all over the place. I'm guessing it must be some sort of a data anomaly, because it's like, because it shows that it's flying right over where we are right at the moment, and there's definitely not a plane flying at 1,300 feet above us.
Line 7 southbound, clear up.
I'm trying to pick a contrail out of the sky, but I can't quite see it on my camera right now. But here are the skies above us. I think we're supposed to get some rain later today. So there's the sky view in lieu of planes at the moment. Well, let's see if we can follow in this Frontier flight from Atlanta. It's pretty far off. This would be the one with the Jack the Rabbit livery. And the reason it's so far away is because it's coming in on the east side of DFW Airport. was that. Well, finally, we're going to have a plane coming in here. It's going to be over here on the west side of the airport. It's American Flight 2021 from Silao in Mexico. It's an Airbus A319. Oh, this is going to be nice. It's going to be the Piedmont Heritage livery. Now, again, I don't know how much of it we're going to be able to make out because of the backlighting, but we'll have a go at it, shall we? On Runway DFW. Just after 8 o'clock Central Time, we're in our final hour of broadcasting for this morning. We welcome Jeffrey Boo from Newark, Texas. I have to be honest, I don't think I've ever heard of Newark, Texas. I'm familiar with Newark, New Jersey. I'll have to look that up. Okay, so we're awaiting the Piedmont Heritage livery. Roy J. Orelmans is our newest subscriber to Runway DFW, climbing that steep ladder to 10,000 subscribers on the channel. And everyone is beneficial, so thank you. Okay, where do we got here? Here it is. Let's see how much of this we can see. Classic. Up the wrong camera. Sorry about that. So there's the classic look of the Piedmont livery. And your host is old enough to be able to say that I had flown on Piedmont Airlines back in the day. Piedmont and Mohawk and Allegheny. Allegheny was a big one. Pan Am, TWA. I can go over the list of airlines that I've flown on that no longer exist. Welcome to S4004S. Joining us now on Runway DFW. And of course, if you do subscribe to our channel after you hit that button 10 minutes later, you can be chatting with our great chat room. Join in the fun. See, what other airlines have I been on that no longer exist? I was on Muse Air, which emerged as a competitor to Southwest Airlines for a short period of time. I can go on. Eastern Airlines, been on it. Pan Am, flew that once. Jeffrey wants to know Braniff. Yes, been on Braniff many times, or was on Braniff many times. I can't remember if I was on AirTrans at all. Going Slightly Mad says Hughes Air West. I'd never been on that airline. They had yellow planes before Spirit had yellow planes, though, didn't they? Buzz Flies. Always enjoy your early morning plane spotting with my first mug of coffee. Have a nice day. Thank you, Buzz. Trish B says Northwest Orient. I'm not sure. I don't think I'd ever I was familiar with it, but I don't think I've ever been on Northwest. US Air, Michelle says, yeah, pretty sure I've been on Northwest Air, or on US Air. Going slightly mad, Ozark to Paducah, Kentucky. I'd been on Ozark Airlines back in the day. Ah, nostalgia. We're still loading up this 747. I was hoping to see it go out during this hour, so we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. Marjolaine says, I'm new here and I like it here. We're glad you like it here, Marjolaine, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And we're here quite regularly. Not as often as some of the other channels. I do have another job I've got to do, but usually at least once during the week and once on the weekends, depending on the weather. Now arriving from Aguascalientes in Mexico is this American Eagle flight, an Embraer 175. Hello, Timothy Keenan. Pleasure to have you with us on Runway DFW. We hope it's the first of many visits to our little corner of the aviation community online. Trish B says, I flew TWA often. We called it Teeny Weeny Airlines. Well, I don't know why you would call it that. They had some pretty big planes. Maybe you just didn't get to fly on them. Our next arrival is going to be American Airlines Flight 1066 from Mexico City. It'll be a 737-800. Oh, and here's that sign we were going to show you earlier with the information about the Buy a Brick program. There's a phone number you can call, or you can write to Founders Plaza at DFWAirport.com. $125. There's a flight from Mexico City. Take to get to Mexico? I'm going to say 2 hours. Is that right? Okay. It was close. An hour and 53 minutes.
1545, ready for mission. Let's go. Kind of missed the front part of that. I understand we're clear to take off 18 left. Delta 1545, let's see if we do that. We'll take off 18 left, or no, to Deepwork main stuff, take it left. 5137.
A-list flyer Chris, one of our moderators, with a $5 super chat. Raise a toast to Walt for representing our hometown big airport. Thank you, A-list flyer Chris. This is really fun to do. I really enjoy doing this. I hope you can tell. Here's Delta Flight 1545. It's off to Salt Lake City. It's an Airbus A320. And we are especially backlit today. as you just saw, Larry Brown contributing a $15 contribution. Contributing a contribution? Well, thank you, Larry. You know, it's a really good feeling to connect with all of you around the country and around the world. Talking to people who, you know, under
Delta 1545 today.
other circumstances I normally would never have had any communication with, and it's so cool. It's an Embraer 175 coming in from Bentonville, Arkansas, the home of Walmart. American Eagle Flight 3847. Everything is so backlit over. You know, we're looking towards the east, and of course there's where the sun is, and so that's why it looks so nasty in that direction. So we'll look towards the south here and see what's happening with our Big Bird. Still not buttoned up yet. The scissor lift. Oh, there's still got more cargo to go in there. Hello, Carolina driver. You are our newest subscriber. I'm going to really peel off here for a second so we can catch this flight arriving from Cancun. It's American Flight 1750. An Airbus A321. It's a 2-hour and 20-minute flight to the Yucatan Peninsula. Douglas wants to know if there's any UPS departing soon. Well, when I had, well, actually, yes. Because as you can see there, that MD-11 there on the left is being pushed back. It's on its way to Louisville. The distinctive tail of the MD-11. We haven't yet had the Runway DFW chorus out, have we? You guys all warmed up?
1994.
A 28-year-old bird. We'll deviate for a moment for this arrival from Guadalajara in Mexico. It's going to be American flight, where'd it go? 1034, 737-800. And we'll go back to the Tri-Jet for its pre-launch preparations. Hello, Barb Larkin. Good morning from South Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'll be traveling from Palm Springs to DFW, then on to Milwaukee in 3 weeks. Well,
Top 20 left at Whiskey Lima, ground 25, American 1034.
let us know if you're in the neighborhood. We'll be happy to take a picture of your plane or planes. Thanks for checking in.
Roger, over.
It is a Tri-Jet alert going slightly mad. And Duchess says, see them UPS planes with the engine on the wingtail. That is so cool. I was going to see what the deal was on departures this hour. Well, the 747 over there is currently scheduled to, or estimated to leave at 8:45, so that may be one of our final flights of the morning. And that's destined for Louisville. Chase B, our newest subscriber. Hello, Chase B. Now, Cathay Pacific 747 is scheduled from Los Angeles, but I don't show it being in the air right now, so I don't think we're going to be seeing that plane, unfortunately. We've got an American Airlines flight from Maui, a 7... Where did it go? Anyway, we should be seeing a 747 from Maui. I'm sorry, 787 from Maui coming up shortly. Yeah, 787-9. We'll be here in about a minute, so we'll check in on that when it gets closer. On Runway DFW, as looks like this proud bird is getting ready to start rolling. So, Duchess, we have another flight coming in from Hawaii.
We're parked on the west side.
Austin says, hey, Walt, how are you today? I'm doing great. It's a beautiful morning here at the big airport. Oh, and you can see it on this shot. It's another UPS plane getting ready to go out. That's the morning flight to Ontario, California. That's a 757. So lots of cargo action here for you this morning. It's like a UPS ballet over there this morning.
Cross 18 right, hold short 18 left for UPS 2711.
Okay, so we're about to see the arrival of Flight 116 from Maui, American Airlines, 787-9, and we'll keep track of these UPS planes. The Ontario flight typically departs from over on this side of the airport.
RNAV to Laren, 18 left, cleared for takeoff for UPS 2711.
So I guess that Ontario flight's going right out. So we'll watch the Maui flight come in, and we'll switch over to the 757 blasting off for Ontario. Aloha.
There's lots 18 right, 18 left.
There goes the 757. There's the MD.
Down 0.65 on the bridge. You cross 18 left. Follow the American Airbus. Get 2751.
A snappy liftoff for that 757.
Departure UPS 2711, good day.
Now this MD is, I think, probably it's headed to Louisville, and it would appear as though it's being directed over to the east side of the airport for departure. But I do see the second MD-11 just to the south of me now with its flashing lights on. I don't see it on the radar yet, but I think its departure is imminent.
Left on my way to American 1251.
Oh, look who's here. It's Rudy, LA Plane Spotter. Hey, Rudy. Can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to meeting you and seeing Kevin again at the end of next month.
Alright, landway, let's clear for takeoff, American 1251.
And Chuck says, howdy, Rudy. Did you order your DFW shirt? Well, I have my DFW shirt, my Airline Videos Live DFW Towers, Tri-Tower shirt. I bet Rudy gets a deal on those. You think? We were talking about this earlier. You see that black smoke in the sky there? It's from the fire training facility here on the southwest side of the airport.
I have flyer 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 860.
It seems like something that would be very alarming, but not to worry. All right, we have taking off here. American Flight 868 to Austin. And Airbus A319. I don't know if we are so backlit this morning that it's kind of muddy as far as the picture goes. That's why when we're here in the mornings, I always wish for a cloudy, overcast day, because it's easier to pick things out of the murk. Todd Stelt says, Walt, Rudy is here? I've been watching him on the LA channel. He's famous. Yes, he is. Rudy is a LA plane spotter on YouTube. So we're happy to have him with us. Must be on his way to school. That was American Flight 489 from Amarillo and Airbus A319. And getting ready to take off there is American Flight 2616 off to Hayden, Colorado. American Flight 452 to, no, I'm sorry, this is American 2759, blasting off to San Antonio, Texas. And we can now confirm that we've got another MD, which is on its way out. Hasn't shown up on the radar yet. been pushed back. MD-11 number 2 definitely getting spoilt, says TriStar Darren.
RNAV to Laren, 18 left, cleared for takeoff, American 1304.
TriStar Darren, I wish we could bring you a Lockheed TriStar. You know, I saw one on the radar a few weeks ago, and it appeared to have landed at an airport in Grand Prairie in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I never got a chance to go down there and see it, but I did contact the person I thought was connected with that plane. It's an organization in Kansas City, which has, I think, one of only 2 flying examples of the plane. But that person wrote back to me and said, no, that's not our plane. Or we don't have our plane there in Grand Prairie, although it seemed to have flown to Grand Prairie from, I don't know, somewhere in West Texas, El Paso or something. So, I don't know. But it should be great to see a TriStar in the flesh. Maybe someday. Okay, this is now lit up. This is Philadelphia, is this plane.
Okay, American 1304.
And the Runway DFW Jingle Singers are getting ready.
1993.
A-list flyer Chris says last time I saw an L1011 was an ATA at DFW back in 2006 from the old Founders Plaza on the southeast side. And yes, you do hear a siren. There's a DFW fire truck making its way over to the east side. And again, this flight is American Flight 2020. Bound for the city of brotherly love. And the home of the Super Bowl runners-up. If I have my football information correct. How about another United or UPS? I keep wanting to say United Parcel Service. They haven't called themselves that in a while, I don't think. But we've got another flight coming in. This is going to be UPS flight 2879 from Austin. It'll be a 767 now arriving on runway 18 right on runway DFW.
Line up and wait 18 left, American 520. Okay, cross 18 right and 18 left and contact point 5.
Regrettably, this plane is, I believe, destined for the east side of DFW Airport. For takeoff.
Ground reconfirm UPS 2022 clear close 18 left.
So you just heard it having clearance to cross 18 left.
+1.
Which means it's not taking off from 18 left, I don't think.
On that line, clear for takeoff 18 left, American 520.
American Flight 520
Oh, wait,
is
18
cleared
left,
to take
line
off from
away.
18 left. It's an Airbus A321, and it's going to Phoenix.
Left, RNAV B park, clear for takeoff, American 882.
20 left, line up way down below 3571.
I-20 will see you.
Craig Russell says, good morning, everyone. TriStar Darren says, thank you for that info, Walt. I'll have to find out who it was. He's talking about the L1011 I thought I saw in this vicinity. Yeah, there's an organization called, I think it has the word TriStar in the name. It's based in Kansas City. They have a website.
RNAV Laren 18 left, clear for takeoff on board 3571.
They also have a BAC 111 in their
Runway
fleet.
18 left, American call 63.
This is the 767 that had landed a few moments ago from Austin. The 747, which we've been keeping an eye on, has still got its rear cargo hatch open. And it looks like there's some containers that are getting ready to be loaded on it. So I don't know that we'll be seeing that go out whilst we are still here today, unfortunately. Alan wants to know, any Ilyushins or Tupolevs ever run through DFW? Anyway, love the channel. Keep it up. Yes. Well, let's see. As far as those, I'm not sure. I know we've seen some Antonovs. And you can find that on our channel, the recordings of those. An A-list flyer, Chris, confirms that an AN-124 goes through DFW several times a year. Bill Platt wants to know, what is that random noise that sounds like a spring being sprung? Well, it's the sound of your messages that are being it's like a little notification that sends back to me whenever there's a message in the chat room that appears. And I haven't figured out a way to filter that out, because I really like to be able to hear that, but I know it can be annoying. Here comes American Flight 2540 from Omaha, Nebraska, 737-800 on Runway DFW. And as we kept saying on Sunday, during that big game, when planes would land, we would say touchdown. Because that's what we do. That Alaska Airlines flight is off to Seattle. That's a 787-9. Is that the one we saw earlier? That's probably the plane we saw earlier with the special livery. Yes. Came in earlier this morning. I think it's a 100 years of Boeing special livery, I believe is what it was. I know it's hard to see because, again, the lighting conditions here in the morning on a sunny day do not favor us.
2760, last await 18 left.
Oh no, that was the honoring those who serve livery, so I guess that's a different livery than we saw coming in this morning. So apologies for that. All right,
43, have a good morning.
what's flying at us here? Let me see if that MD is taken off yet.
Don't have to be parked. Clear takeoff. 18 left. American 2767.
We're coming up on the final few minutes of our broadcast today, as I do have to blast off for work, but we will have maybe our last big flight of the day.
2939.
Will be, we've got Qatar Cargo Flight 8175 from Mexico City to Los Angeles, diverting to Dallas. It's a 777 freighter, and we'll be seeing that in about, looks like about 3 or 4 minutes.
3701.
Hello, Todd Greenfield. Welcome to Runway DFW. Happy to have you with us. And Flight Sim Exploration also, what is that puff of smoke there? And yeah, nothing to be concerned about. That is a flight or a a training center for
Mark 2767.
fire training center here on the southwest side of the airport. So yeah, it looks like our last flight of the day will be the diverted Qatar cargo flight. Diverted from on a trip to Los Angeles. Not sure why it's diverting here. I don't see any emergency equipment on the ground here, so I don't think there's any, mechanical issue with the plane. So it's in line to be about the third flight out, and I think that'll be our last one of the morning.
Friday left, line up for you, making
A little bit of excitement.
Export 18 left, back to 2012.
As you can see, things are getting real busy here. Flight Sim Explorations is quipping that the Qatar cargo plane is diverting for barbecue.
On that beat pause, 18 left, clear takeoff, making 688.
Wait, safety left for 2114.
Yeah, we just got a whole pile of planes there on the north end of runway 18 left, lining up to take off. There's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A lot of planes. That was American Flight 2326, a 737-800, arriving from Des Moines, Iowa.
About to make a 688.
And we're getting ready to welcome that Qatar cargo flight from Mexico City that has been diverted from Los Angeles for some reason. Here it is. That's not it. That is the flight that precedes it, so hang on a second. Got a little ahead of myself there. Now it's the next one. Okay, so this will be Qatar cargo flight 8175. A 777. Left Mexico City about 2 hours and 5 minutes ago, and it's going to be coming in here to DFW.
East side, Echo 4 right.
After this, we will bid you a fare thee well for today. Been on the air since 6 a.m. Central Time locally, and always an interesting morning. Lots of nice people stopping by to say hello. And I promise you, we will be seeing this Qatar cargo 777 here just any moment now. There it is. Again, it's a diversion from Los Angeles.
Empty park strip takeoff 18 left, American 29 City.
18 left, line up, wait, right to 2746.
Go to Parks, we'll see halfway 3498.
Arnold Laren, 18 left, clear for takeoff, right to 2743. Left line up.
All right, plane pals, that's going to do it for this edition of Runway DFW. I would like to thank you so very much for being a part of this broadcast. Special thanks, as always, to the Runway DFW Moderation Federation for stepping in and making sure we have a nice broadcast for everybody to watch. We will be back.
Line up and wait. 20
I'm
left.
guessing on Saturday or Sunday, as we often do. Until then, thanks again for watching. Thanks for subscribing and liking. And
2743.
happy contrails to you. Until we meet again. Bye, everybody.
Stay tuned for The Price is Right, which follows at most of these CBS stations.
We hope you liked it. Too late to change it now.
18 left, clear for takeoff.
With a camera.
Airline 18 right, full parking left, American 27. takeoff 18 left, American 2357. 18 left, line up with wing, American 2720. One is left, American 1 is at American 2020. Okay, we're